All right, so this first problem is one we haven't really talked about. It's a work problem. And the thing that we have to know is rate times work rate, in this case, time is equal to the work done. Fairly simple premise, right? So we have two people. And we have Mike, and we have Marie. Nice. Mike is actually the woman's wife, or husband that writes this. So the work rate for Mike is going to be 1 over 3.5 hours, right? Marie, 1.2. The time's going to be the same because they're working together. And since rate times time equals work done, we know that x over 3.5, and here's going to be x over 2. We don't like the 3.5 so much, so I'm going to multiply the numerator and the denominator by 2. So we get that. Now I know that they're working together, and that will equal one job. So, and it's almost always 1. So I know that this plus this has to equal 1. Well, how do I add fractions? They have to have a common denominator. So I have 4x over 14 plus 7x over 14, which is equal, obviously, to 14 over 14. So 4x plus 7x is equal to 14. So 14 plus 7 is 11x. It's equal to 14 divided by 11 divided by 11. You get x is equal to 1.2. What is it? 1.27 repeating. And it wants it in minutes, right? Well, 1 hour is 60 minutes. And I know that, well, the easiest thing to do is just to do this. Do 14 divided by 11. And then multiply it by 60, since you're allowed calculators. And that's 76 minutes. So the one thing that I have to say on this is the work rate, you always take 1 over the work rate, and the work rate is here and here, and then you just multiply times time and you get this. It's actually not too bad. Most people get this one wrong. I remember when it was on the test. All right, so complex fractions. So let's start at the bottom. To add 2 to 2/3, you have to turn into thirds, so that's 6 thirds plus 2 thirds is equal to 8 thirds. So I have 2, I'm rewriting the whole thing, 2 plus 2 over 8 thirds. And I think it's Landon, bottoms up, likes to say. So 2 times 3 is 6. So really, I have 6, because 2 times 3 is 6. Well, now I'm adding 2 to that. It needs to be 8, so that's 16. Sorry. Yeah, it is 16 eighths. 16 eighths plus 6 is 22 eighths. So now I have 2 over 22 eighths. Bottoms up. 2 times 8 is 16 over 22. I hope that's the answer. Close, because it needs to be reduced. 2 goes into both of them, so that's over 11, and that's 8. 8 over 11. There you have it. Quick and easy. Next problem. All right. So we have our box plot. We love box plots here. And we remember that this is your median. We have our third quartile, or upper quartile, or their third quartile. And these are the max, and this is the min. To determine the median value of the data set. Oh my goodness, could it possibly be that easy? The median is 50. This one is inexcusable for missing. It is that easy. That little line is always the median. All right, that was easy. To compete a marathon, a runner must finish 26.2 miles. Most runners don't run the second half of the marathon and seems to be there on the first half. Shocking. If a marathoner runs the first half at a speed of 6.05 miles per hour and then gets tired, so that's for 13.1, And then the second half at 4.57 miles per hour, that's also a 13.1. What is her average speed? You can't just average them together. Rate times time is equal to distance. So you know that time is equal to distance divided by rate. So my distance is 13.1. Of course it's 13.1. 13.1 divided by my rate, which is 6.05. 05. And so this part took me 2 hours and this fraction of minutes. I'm going to hold on to that. For my other half, again, the distance was 13.1, and it took me I was going 4.57 miles per hour, so this took me 2.8666521. And so then, what is my total time? So I'm going to add this time to my 2.8665, I guess that's 21. Oh, shoot. I don't want to add it to itself, right? So I'm going to add it to my 2.165289. And so it took me 5.03181 hours. And so rate times time equals distance. So now I know I want to know my rate, I have my time, and I know the distance is 26.2. So I need to divide the distance by this. So 26.1 divided by 5.03181. And so my average speed is 5 to the hundredth. So it's 5.2, because I rounded to the nearest hundredth, so this is 5.2. All right, last two. Campbell, get ready to go. We're going to have to leave here in a hurry. All right. When the second edition of the Oxford, oh my goodness, was published, it's at 20 volumes. Oh my goodness. It weighed 62.6 kilograms. That's really heavy. If each volume is the same weight, what is the weight in pounds of one volume of the English Dictionary? Oh, great. Well, how many pounds are there in a kilogram? So, I think there are 2.2 pounds in a kilo. So, first I need to divide 62.6 by 20. There are 20 volumes. Each volume is that. So then times 2.2 equals 6.868. So it wants it to the 10th. So that's 6.9. That's it. That is that easy. But you do have to remember this. There are 2.2 pounds in a kilo. Investigators believe that 32.5 million people had their identity stolen in the past 5 years. Wow. That's a lot. The number of people who had their identity stolen for each of the 5 years in succession form a linear relationship. All right, if 8.35 million people had their in the past 5 years. All right. So that's total. That's a total. So in the 5th year, we had 8,350,000. And so we need to figure out how many were stolen the 1st year. So here's the thing. we have 8.35 minus x. So x is our thingamajig. So then we have our slopes, rather. My goodness, this is driving me crazy. I want to go home, too. Where are the rest of my pens? 8.35 minus 2x. This is minus 3x. This is minus 4x. So we have 10x's, negative 10x's, because I added 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1, and they're all negative. So I have negative 10x. And then I have 8.35. That happens 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. So 8.35 times 5 equals that, minus the number of people who are the total. That's 32.5. So I get 9.25 as my is equal to negative 10x. So divide by negative 10, divide by negative 10. So I get 0.9525, and then I have to multiply it by 4. Oh, come on. All right, and that's a negative. So I'm going to add it to my 8.35. Come on. It's driving me crazy. Let's try this again. 0.925 times 4, because that's over here on my equation. And then it's negative, and I'm going to add it to 8.35. I get 4.65, and that is the answer. So essentially what I did is, I don't know what the slope is. The slope is x. So if I subtract the slope from this, and I go over here, I'm going to have this amount minus my slope. Over here, I'm going to have this amount minus 2 of my slopes. Over here, I'm going to have this amount minus 3 of my slopes, and over here is this original amount minus 4 slopes. And so if I add all of these together, it's going to equal that. And so I just said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 times 8.35 minus my 10x's, and I explained why, is equal to 2.5, and I just solved. And I got 4.65, and that is it. There's your individual round. This one was a tough one, though. Absolutely tough one.